Hey everyone, I'd like to introduce Mr. Joseph James here with Keller Williams Commercial. He's a commercial agent, very heavy on the commercial side, but also a real estate entrepreneur and real estate investor. And when I got introduced to him, we got connected through one of the associates with his company, and he was telling me about the software program that they have. And I was kind of blown away because it was something that I wish I had a long time ago. Whenever I got started, it would have saved me hours and hours of lots of really tedious work on Microsoft Excel. But not only that, it's very relevant to helping analyze deals and figuring out what kind of offers you should be making and what kind of returns you're going to and you can expect based on the various offers, and you can do some cross analyzation and different type of scenarios. So we're going to get into that, but why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got started in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me today. So I've been in the IT world. So I was my last job was with IBM. I was there for almost 15 years. So I managed development teams. Along the way, I started investing in real estate, and got introduced to Robert Kiyosaki and some of the big motivators out there, and got a real liking for real estate investing. Got into single family investing, small multifamily, and so forth. And then, at some point, I decided that, hey, this is what I want to do full time. So I left my job and started a real estate company. I joined Keller Williams Commercial, and we started operating as 2020 Commercial Group. That is a group within KW Commercial that we operate. And then one thing led to the other, and soon found out that my commercial clients had a need for education. A lot of people had no idea what a good deal was. I got tired of being asked, "Is this a good deal?" So I was like, okay, I need to create something so I can educate them on what is a good deal for them, right? And good deal is different for each person. So what is good deal for me may not be a good deal for you, Chris, and vice versa, right? So educating clients on that, we figured, hey, I had an Excel spreadsheet like you mentioned that I was using, and that was not going to scale very well to take it to a larger audience. So I started working on creating a software because I had the software development background and had the connections with developers, really good developers, I should say, that can pull this off. And we started working on the software program, and now it was originally intended just for my teaching. So basically, for me to teach my agents and to teach our clients. But now it has turned out to be a more of a national product. We are a preferred vendor for Keller Williams Realty. We are a preferred vendor for Remax. So those are the number one and number two real estate companies out there. And we are looking to establish more relationships with other brokerages and other real estate companies. And that's why we're here. And that's kind of my, the journey for ROI Muse. I still do brokerage. So we have 2020 Commercial Group that is based in Dallas, Texas. We broker commercial deals, both sales and leasing. And I spend most of my time on creating or developing ROI Muse. So far we have residential tools, we have commercial tools. So we have tools for investors and tools for brokers. So those are the people that we are trying to serve, and both on the commercial and residential side. So that's a little bit about myself and background of our company.
Yeah, so essentially you're running your business, your brokerage business, and you saw a problem, a need within your business, your clients maybe needing a little bit more education, or maybe even from the ground up, they're ready, willing, and able to get involved in investments, but especially commercial investments, but needing the education to understand what they're even looking for, and what they should be looking for, and how to analyze deals. So you saw that problem, and I'd imagine in the beginning it was a lot of manual work, and then you realize, hey, look, let's put some systems in place, make this better, make it professional, and then it's not only going to help your clients, it's going to help you too. It's going to help your business. But is that kind of the evolution?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think I have a passion for teaching. I'm sure you do as well, right? That's why we're here. So we like to, what we learned along the way, years of learning, like to transfer that, in a box to people who are new in the business, right? So they don't have to, so their learning curve can be shortened. So having a tool and the training go along with it, and I really believe that, Chris, because if you look at it, a lot of people buy a lot of courses, and I'm guilty as charged, right? I have a lot of courses sitting on my desk that I never opened, or I read the first chapter and never got back to it. So so that is the world we live in, right? Real estate investment is so glamorized, and there are so many things out there that everybody wants to buy all these different products, and but until you have something to really practice with, and that I don't think that transformational learning. I'm talking about new investors, right? People who are coming into the business. You really need training and a system for them to practice, not only for practice for learning the concepts, but also they can use that in the real world. So when they have a real deal, they can analyze quickly and make a decision quickly, right? At the end of the day, it's all matters how quickly you can make a decision and how comfortable you are making those decisions. So that is kind of the way we wanted to kind of, the vision for the company changed along the way, that from, originally being, hey, let me put something out there to generate some leads, educate my clients, to now we have a much broader vision of, okay, let's try to help real estate investors make money and grow their wealth faster.
Yeah, you're leading with value, and something just popped to mind when you're talking about courses. I remember going to a course, and I won't say the guru's name because he's still pretty active, but it probably cost me $2,000 or $3,000. But one of the big hooks to the course is you get his deal analyzer. And the deal analyzer was nothing short of an Excel spreadsheet, just pre-fitted out with some formulas, which I know that takes time, and there was value, and I appreciated it. It helped us do due diligence whenever we bought our first apartment complex. But like, we paid way more than we needed to do. So I'm thankful that this evolution of the real estate industry and the ecosystem, especially in the investor world, that companies like yours are out there looking for the clients, looking to solve problems for them and provide a good, valuable solution to educate them. It's going to help their business. And then in turn, at least for you, because you're a commercial agent, probably going to do some more business.
Absolutely, yeah. I have benefited. My business has both, my commercial business has benefited from this, and also my agents, because they get to train well, and they've been, blessed with some leads as well that coming through this program we do. So yeah, it is work pretty well for myself and my organizations as well.
Absolutely, leading with value. So one of the books that I read very early on, it was recommended to me. It's a book. It's about as entertaining as reading the dictionary. It's called "What Every Real Estate Investor Needs to Know About Cashflow," and 36 other key financial measures by Frank Gallinelli. And that book, the reason why I like it so much is it talks about all the financial formulas that you really need to know when you're investing. And so I took that book and I was trying to do my own Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. And then whenever I tested out your program, I realized, like, hey, pretty much everything that we need to know is within your software. And it's fairly, once you get a grasp and understand the platform, it's fairly easy to use and see your key metrics, the key metrics that you're looking for, whether it's a rental or a flip or maybe a wholesale deal. It gives you that information very easily, gives you the important information. And do you want to test it out?
Yeah.
You want to do a live demo?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me go and share my screen and we'll do a live demo here.
All right.
So hopefully you can see my screen.
Yeah.
So this is our website. It's ROI Muse. ROI-Muse is our kind of a branding name, but our website is just one word, roimuse.com. So this is our homepage. So this is what we provide. So we have, like I said, we have two audiences. We have investors and agents, both commercial and residential. So that's our target audience. That's what we are here for. So the tools we have commercial deal analysis, which can be used to analyze multifamily properties, office, retail, industrial, ground-up development projects. And then we are adding a lot more features to it. So right now we are working on adding second loan options and interest-only loans and assumable loans. So there are a lot more features that's being added right now to those tools. Commercial lease analysis is primarily for commercial brokers who work with tenants and landlords. So that's for how they can analyze, and compare different leases and different proposals. And then we have a lot of financial calculators, like your simple calculators like NPV, IRR, cap rate, time value of money, your net worth even. So those are some of the financial concepts that every investor should know, right? This is what you're talking about, Chris, that there are some metrics, people need to understand some basic financials, and you don't need to worry about knowing everything, but you need to know what's important, right? So we want to try to bring that to you as well. On the residential side, we have fix and flip analysis, we have rental property analysis, we have IRR analysis, which is another strategy used for rental properties. And then we also recently add a rehab estimator. I'll show you that as well. So let me get right into it. So once you log in, so this is I'm in the, let me go back to the apps here. So these are all the tools we have. The these are the premium tools which requires a subscription, and we'll talk about that later. And these are the free tools, right? So if you create a free account, then you can use any of these free tools available anytime you want. So the way you do that is you just start a trial, and then if you don't want to subscribe, you can just continue to have that free account and continue to use all the free tools as well. So let me go into residential deal analysis. So this tool is, I'll click on Start New Analysis, and I'll show you a quick example, and then we'll go through it. Let's say I need to analyze a BRRR properties, a property with BRRR strategy. So the form is loading right now. So hang on one second. Okay, there you go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my strategy. There are 6 different strategies here: BRRR, rentals, with financing and with cash, and also flips with financing and cash. So in this case, I'm going to do a BRRR analysis with hard money. So I will go in and let me give it a name. We'll call it test. And let's say this is 2,000 square feet. Now I'm going to put in my ARV, which is, let's say, $200,000. And my purchase price is $130,000. And my rehab estimate is, let's say, about $25,000. And this property is going to rent for about $1,900 a month. So that is really all I need to do is to calculate my returns, is just input those 4 values: ARV, purchase price, rehab estimate, and monthly rent. And then you can scroll down and look at your results. So this is our dashboard that shows you your returns. So your returns, the main return you're looking for in a residential rental property is cash on cash return. So you can see your cash on cash return is 27%. Your annual cash flow is $8,000, so which is about 600 plus a month. And you can scroll down and see the details. So we give you all the details. So you can see 691 per month is your monthly cash flow on this property. Annual cash flow is 8288. Now, you can also, the other return people look for is how much equity did I get upfront. By doing BRR strategy, the goal is to grow your net worth, right? You're capturing or you're creating equity immediately. So how much equity did we create in this deal? Is $29,000. Your return on equity or your equity capture is 97%. So almost 100% profit on day one, right, in this deal. So this is a really good deal, right? So, and your yield is, as you probably know, the yield is something that people don't talk about, but yield is something that you can only calculate based on a whole period, right? You have to have an assumption of sale. So in this case, we have set it to a 3-year hold period here. That's my default. You can always change that to say, I want to hold it for 5 years and sell it. So if you hold it for 5 years, you can see your yield went down a little bit. And obviously that's because you're getting a higher profit in the beginning. One of the strategies that a lot of people use with BRRR is to buy the property, renovate it, rent it for a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years, and then sell it, right? And get that money out and go buy 2 more, right? So if you're starting out, that's one strategy a lot of people use. So you can analyze the deal based on how long you want to hold. So you can go up to 30-year hold period if you want. That's what you want to do. Again, these are some of the metrics that we have, and then it also gives you the breakdown of where things are going. So you can see your money is going almost 1/3 into operating expenses, which will be taxes, insurance, HOA, things like that. The green is your mortgage payment, and that's your cash flow. So the cash flow is what you are taking home. And when you sell the property, this is your sales proceeds. You have to pay off the loan, obviously. This is your sales cost, how much commissions and other closing costs, and $90,000 profit when you sell this property that you're walking away with. That $90,000, think about it, right? You're investing $30,000 into this deal. Even in 3 years, when you sell it, you're coming up with $90,000 profit, right? That is something that you can go buy 3 more homes, right? Similar homes. So that's how you grow your wealth. And let me show you some of the other metrics in here. So
basically that deal, I'd buy all the deals you can bring me that meet those metrics. And that strategy that you mentioned about using the BRRR, and then reinvesting or recycling the properties every 3 to 5 years. So I have a webinar on that on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's called the Slow Flip Strategy, or it's on rehacking.com. But yeah, you turn one rental property, factoring in the IRR, because that goes down over time, and you turn one rental property into 2, 3, maybe 4, which over time just exponentially grows your net worth and cash flow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this strategy myself. This is one that this is my favorite, by the way, even compared to commercial. Because if you have a lot of money and if you don't have any time to do anything, then you invest in commercial with somebody else, a group, and just be a passive investor. Or unless you're a syndicator, right? That's a totally different business. But most of us are not. Or it takes some time and learning to get to that level of syndicating deals. Let's say 500 unit apartment complexes, $50 million properties, with bunch of 100 investors who are putting in 200,000 each. So that's a totally different ball game. But I'll show you how to analyze those properties as well. But the way the system works and why it's fast and it only takes, we say analyze deals under 5 seconds, and I showed you how to analyze deals under 5 seconds, right? Because you only need to put in 5 inputs. Everything else is defaulted. Like, for example, I've already set my property tax to 2.5%. That is because in Dallas, Texas, that's kind of the average of property taxes. So it already calculated the property tax as 5,000, but you can override it if you know exactly how much it is. Let's say this is only 4,700. So you can override that, and then that'll recalculate everything instantly. But it gives you the defaults based on the defaults you set. The property insurance, I put in 0.5%, so about $1,000. Plus or minus, that's how much it's going to take. Right? Then you can also plug in your other values. Like, if I wanted to put a 5% for repairs, I didn't put anything here because this is a BRRR strategy, and when I renovate the properties, I'm going to go in and renovate it completely. So I'm not expecting a lot of repairs or a lot of capital improvements after that. But if this is a retail property, that you think that you're going to need some money for repairs, then you can put in a default for 5% for, and if you're not going to be managing it, you can put in whatever 7% for management fee. So you can put in other inputs here and it'll automatically remember that for the next time. All you need to do is click on save your default. So so the way the system works is completely based on defaults. Now for the financing, I already set my hard money what I can get. So if you have something different, you would change that. So I can get 70% loan to value, 12% interest, and a 3 points upfront. So I've already set that here. That's why I don't need to input anything. So once I set it, I can just click on this checkbox, save it for next time. And you can also create multiple templates. So if you're working with one private money lender and a hard money lender, you can change this anytime to see how that returns might look like. And then for my cash out refi, I've also set 80% loan to value, 4.5% interest, 30-year amortization. So that's already been set. So that's how the system knows how to calculate everything instantly. Now let's look at the returns. So you can see we are getting almost 100% return on equity, and we are getting almost like a 19% cash on cash return. So we also give you all these additional metrics here, like IRR for 5-year hold. That's what we put in here now. We can get a cap rate based on ARV, a cap rate based on cost, debt service coverage ratio. That's how much money is there to service your mortgage, and your payback period. So in this case, I'm investing $30,000. I'm going to get all of that $30,000 back in 5 years from my cash flows alone. I mean, that's not from equity, right? Because you already made more than that upfront. But from your operations, from your cash flow, you're going to get that money back also on top in 5 years, which is really good, right? Because after 5 years, you have no money in there because you already recouped all of your money. Plus, you made $90,000 profit. Or no, not 90,000. You made $29,000 profit upfront. Then the property is going to appreciate, right? So we put in like an appreciation factor of 3% here. So over a period of time, if the property continues to appreciate, then that creates that bigger spread, right? Now you have equity upfront, your cash flow coming in, and you're going to get appreciation, right? So all of those three adds up. That's the benefit of real estate investing, right? So you're getting multiple things at the same time. It's almost like a dividend paying stock, right? That is appreciating as well. Now, let's say I want to give you a scenario that this is in a really nice neighborhood, and this is going to be very competitive, right? You really like this neighborhood, great school system, whatever. You can say that, hey, I'll do this deal for 50% equity, right? I can type in my criteria here to say 50%. And right now the price we have is 130. You can say this is my maximum offer is, let's say my criteria is 50% equity is my criteria for BRRR. I can click on recalculate price. I'll give you exactly how much you should pay. $139,000, $675 to get a return of 50% equity upfront. So your yield went down to 30%, but that is still a really good yield compared to some of the other things you can do, right? So if you're competitive, you should know what's your maximum offer, right? You can also do the same thing with cash on cash return. You can say, I need my criteria is I need a 15% cash on cash return, and you can click on recalculate, and it'll tell you exactly how much you should pay. It's 138 is how much you should pay for a deal like that. Now let me quickly show you how to analyze a flip deal. We'll do the same deal. I'll just save these numbers here since we already entered. And what you can do is now I can just say that, hey, I want to try a flip deal. So hang on one second. Okay, there you go. So you just go to the strategy and change to flip with hard money. And let's see, we don't have to make any changes because we already input everything we need and our defaults are already set for. So this is a $2,000 gross profit. Well, nobody in their right mind will do this deal because most likely you end up in the negative, right? But look at this, right? These are some of the things that initial or new investors forget: interest payments, operating expenses, utilities, loan payoff, sales costs. These are all costs you need to factor in when you're doing a flip, and a lot of time you forget. But the system already puts everything in there based on your default. So I already said it's going to take me 6 months to do this flip. That's a very conservative, right? Because it might take 1 or 2 months for you to to rehab the property. It may take 30 days to get it under contract. It might take another 30 to 40 days to close. So we are already talking about maybe 4 to 5 months in the best case scenario. So I put 6 months, to be conservative. It's going to cost me 6% for real estate commissions and things like that. I'm a realtor, so I'm only paying one side. So I can change that to 3%, right? So you can see immediately if you're an agent, you get a bump in that returns. And then we set $200 for utilities. And then we already have the property tax and property insurance, because remember, we had to pay property tax for the 6-month period until you sell it, right? So those costs can creep up on you if you're not aware of it. Now let's see, it's talking about, now it's about $8,000 profit because we are a realtor. So, let me go and put that back to 3%. Most of us, for benefit of people who are not realtors. So you can see now, what you can do now is, let's say you have a minimum profit requirement. I can put in here that I need a $20,000 profit. That's my gross profit. And now I can click on the recalculate again and see right now the price is 138, and click on recalculate price. It'll tell you 126,850 is how much you should pay if you want that $20,000 profit. Right. Again, the final numbers are going to vary based on how much exactly things cost, but this is how you know what's your maximum offer. Now, if you're a wholesaler, we have something here. So that is for the investor, right? If you're a wholesaler, you can say that, hey, my wholesale fee is, let's say, $10,000. Then you can immediately see what you should pay is 116 is how much you should pay for this deal. Then you can flip that paper for $10,000 to an investor, and the investor is going to get his $20,000 return. So if you know if you're a wholesaler, if you know how much your investor is looking for, if they say that I'll do this deal for $20,000 profit, then, or if you know the market, people will do the deals like this for a minimum $20,000 profit, then this is how you back into how much you should pay as a wholesaler, which is $116,000. And you can make your $10,000 assignment fee, and then the investor can make $20,000 profit. So that's in a nutshell how to do residential. So I'll stop for a little bit, Chris, to see if you have any questions.
Yeah, so what you pointed out with the wholesalers, knowing your market. So, and the most successful wholesalers that I know, they know very well what their buyers will pay for certain types of properties. There's certain areas, they're just hot rental markets, especially if it's sub like 150,000, like 1,200, 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like those will just fly off the shelf at pretty high loan to values, from at least from an investment standpoint. It's what we've seen over the years, because landlords, they're able to pay more. They don't have to make, like you drew a great example of a rental property, but when you flip the switch to a flip, they're going to make $4,000, which in all likelihood would have ended up negative because surprises happen. They're just,
of course,
what happens. Even if you're an agent bumping up to $8,000, that's still basically a negative deal. But the landlord is able to pay so much more. And that's important for a wholesaler or an agent. agent that comes across a lead, a deal that they're working with investor buyers, knowing what their clients would pay. So I like it. It solves a good, very quick way to analyze deals, and but also from an early on standpoint, educating aspiring investors on how to analyze deals, how to account for things like maintenance and vacancy for the rental standpoint, or holding costs on the flipping standpoint, because holding costs, especially if you're in hard money, that can eat up profits quick. That's why, like, you got to get in and out. That's the name of the game, in and out quickly. Otherwise, you start to see your margins dwindle. So I like it. What's do you have any other maybe one or two features that you'd like to highlight?
Let me quickly show you. Let me go back to the apps, and what I'll do is I'll go here and show you how to create a rehab estimate real quick, right?
Mhm.
So rehab estimate is something that you learn with experience, right? So if you're starting out new, I'm sure Chris, you agree with me. We don't recommend you going out and doing your own rehab estimate, right? You always get a good contractor to give you the estimate, and then after a couple doing it a few times, you learn some of the typical costs that you need. So once you're a little bit more experienced, I'll show you how to create a rehab estimate quickly. So I can click on Start New Estimate, and let's say it's a new estimate. I'm just going to save it here. And now what we're going to do is I have something here called My Defaults. So this is where I already input. When you subscribe to ROI Muse, it's already going to give you some default values based on my knowledge. But you can always change that default values to say, how much things cost for you. And based on that, if you're doing a luxury home, obviously things are going to cost more than if you're doing a $100,000, $200,000 home. So you set up your own values. So just like every tool we have is based, is designed to work with default values. That's how you can do things quickly. So let me go to my new estimate, and I'm just going to click on where is my import my defaults. So it's going to pull everything from that other tab. Here I'm just going to now go down the list and say, okay, I need a new roof here. So it's about 10 squares. So I'll put in 10. Let's see, foundation is good, electric is good, plumbing is good. AC, I need a new AC unit, a 4-ton AC unit. So I need one of those. Water heater is good. Appliances, I'm going to replace all the appliances. So I need one. That's one package, $2,500. That is the full house appliance package, $2,500. And let's say cosmetic, this is a rental property. So I'm going to spend about $10 a square feet. And this is 2,000 square feet, right? So we put that in there. And let's see what else we need. We need some landscaping, maybe. We need maybe 0.5, maybe about $500 of landscaping. Oh, okay. Okay, let's just put one for landscaping, or we'll just leave landscaping out for now. And let's say for cleaning permits, I don't need anything. Trash out, yes, definitely I need trash out. Cleaning, I need definitely cleaning. Labor, $20 an hour. So this is what you set, right? How much you can get. If you can get it for $10, you put $10 as your default. So $20, I need about maybe 20 hours of labor, right? Or maybe 30 hours of labor. Now you can see this is my rehab estimate, $29,000 for this property. I can go up here and say hide rows that I'm not using, and here's my rehab estimate. So you can quickly print it out and see if your contractor would agree, or whatever you need to do with it, right? So if when you walk in the property, you can do this on your iPad, right? That you can just click 1, 2, whatever you need for each of those things, and then at least that's how you create a preliminary rehab. And when you do the inspection, then obviously you may find other things to do.
It looks like you can add line items that may be custom for your particular needs and systems.
Yeah, you can add line items in the defaults, or you can add line items here. So if you add it into the default, you can reuse it, right? The whole idea is reuse, right? So if you add it into the default, then next time it's there for you. And you can, like I showed you, for AC, I had one line for a 4-ton AC, I had one line for a 2-ton AC, and a 3-ton AC, right? Because you don't know which one you're going to need on a particular rental property. So if I need a 4-ton AC, then I'm going to use that. So for cosmetics, I just use one line to say $10 per square feet, right? That's a $20,000 cosmetic upgrade for paint, carpet, all of that stuff. Now, you can go details if you want, to say how much paint is going to be, how much carpet is going to be, how much fixtures are going to be, all those things that you need to include, you can go details as well. So you can also import that from a file. So we also give you a template. If you don't like to do it this way, and if you have a much bigger thing, you can download a template and then import everything into it real quick, right? So that way you can attach it to your reports and send it to. Oh, by the way, let me show you what the reports look like here. All right, so this is the rental property analysis, right? So this is the one I just showed you before, the BRRR strategy. So you can also create nice reports to send it to your partners or send it to your clients. If you're a realtor, you can create a nice report with analysis and send it to your client. If you are doing it yourself, and if you have a financing partner or another partner or a lender, you can also create a report and send it. Now, one thing I'll mention is, I didn't talk about before, we also give you lots of other metrics as well, right? So most of the time, as an investor, you're going to care about cash on cash return and your return on equity on upfront. Right? Those are two things that you really care about as an individual investor. But when you start working with institutional investors or larger private equity groups, that's how you scale your business, right? So you can always feed them deals. Then they might look at other things like debt service ratio and cap rate and NOI, things like that. So all of that's already included in these reports and in the calculations we do, right? So you don't have to worry about any of that. So you can scale your business as much as you want. So here's my deal. My contact information is on the top, and this is the property overview, which is something that you can type in, and I'll show you where you do that. Property highlights, you can put in all the property images, and this is my dashboard of my reports, my analysis, right? In this tail, I have two different analysis. I have a hard money VRRR strategy, and then I have a hard money flip strategy. So I'm sending this full report with both. So you can save each strategy you want. So you can save off multiple scenarios in the deal as well. So I can create as many scenarios as I want. I showed you how to flip the button and look at rental and flip. So instead of doing that, just flipping, you can create another scenario with one click and then do the flip and save. So that way you create two scenarios. Right? That's how you can create as many scenarios as you want. So this is a flip scenario. Now it makes it easy for you to decide. Yeah, this is so a lot of time people are going to look at a flip deal and say, what is my exit strategy if I cannot sell it, for a profit? Can I convert this into a rental? For like, I really like the term you use, the slow flip strategy, right? So that is a really good exit strategy if you're a flipper, to say, hey, if I can't do a fast flip, can I do a slow flip, right? So that will give you that extra cushion that you can you have really powerful exit strategies where that you can make the deal work even if it's not the best deal, right? So that's why it's always important to analyze both to see, because you don't pass on deals, figure out how to do it if you can make it into a deal, right? Some deal, some properties you can never do because it's not going to give you any returns. But to come back to what we talked about before, right? I mean, Chris, I'm sure you've been asked this question. We all have been asked this question, right? Is this a good deal? An investor asking you, or somebody who's coming new into the real estate investment world asking you, is this a good deal? That's a loaded question, right? Nobody can answer that, because that is very subjective or very much specific to you, right? So I might say that a good deal for me is 15% cash on cash return or 50% equity upfront. That's a good deal for me in a good neighborhood. In a bad neighborhood, it might be 100% equity upfront, because I need to factor in a little bit more risk that I have, right? Or maybe less appreciation in that neighborhood. So you have to learn how to decide your investment criteria. So once you know your investment criteria, then it's very quick for you to make decisions, right? Okay, this deal in this neighborhood, 50% equity, here's my offer, right? And so that's how you learn how to do this and scale your business, because now you know exactly how much you can offer for any given situation. Right. Yeah. And when you get into, go ahead, Chris.
I was saying, what I like about this report, especially early on for investors early on, is it's formatted very professionally. It has all the key numbers that any lender, whether they're private or a hard money lender, would love and do not get from anyone else. No one. I've walked into banks and handed them the reports that we have, which are not nearly as fancy as this, but they're pretty detailed, and they're like, wow, like no one gives us stuff like this. So if you want to stand out, especially with raising money with private lenders or going to banks, hand them something like this, and you'll definitely be getting off on the right foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. If you're serious in your business in real estate investing, you need to figure out how to work with larger groups, right? That's the way. Pretty much everybody, either they create their own group where you have a bunch of investors who are pulling money to do the deals, or you working with another equity company where you can continuously feed them deals, right? And then that's the way to scale your business. And having tools and reports you can provide them makes it a lot easier for you. I mean, not only that, I think this is a very important. If you're starting out in this business, if you're constantly sending people deals that are not very good, you're wasting a lot of people's time. But learning how to analyze deals and to say that, hey, this meets the criteria, let me send it to my investor or let me send this to my client, that saves a lot of time for them, right? And they'll definitely value that, right? That you're not wasting their time as well, sending them deals that is not going to meet their criteria.
Yeah, they'll value that tremendously. And for those who have teams, one issue that we realized when trying to scale was I had intimate knowledge of many transactions that I can't necessarily put on paper, especially estimating rehab, because it's all unique and it's sometimes situational. But when you have basically an AI solution or a tech solution that basically just asks questions and you can just punch that in, and then it gives the someone on the team a much faster learning curve to especially if you're using defaults, to realize that way your teammate's not coming back and saying, hey, I've got this deal, and then you run the numbers like, no, like we'd lose 10 grand. But if they can punch it through there and you say, hey, look, I want 15% return on any rentals, you find it, bring it to me, they can punch the numbers in and they know not to bother you whenever the returns are 5%. But whenever they get one that's got 25%, they know to run to your office and say, we need to get this under contract now. So it fast tracks the learning curve and prevents a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one feature we have in the tool is called sharing. So if you have a team, somebody can underwrite a deal and then they can share it with you, right? So you immediately see, they don't even have to send a report to you. They can just share the deal with you and you can look at it and change some numbers and provide some feedback on if somebody's doing it right or wrong. So you can share, there's that share feature available as well for each deal.
I like it. So new folks interested in ROI Muse can take advantage of the free tools, but for the advanced analytics, there's a free trial, correct?
Yes, there is a 14-day free trial.
14-day free trial, plenty of time to punch in some numbers and test it out and see how it's going to work for their business. We'll put a link to the free trial in the show notes. You can check it out. So anyone interested in reaching out to you or your business or anything, how should they contact you?
The best way to contact us is you can go to our website, roimuse.com, and then there is a chat bubble on the bottom part of the screen. So you can chat with one of our agents, or you can just email us, support@roimuse.com. It's support@roimuse.com. So, and you can also call us. Our phone number is right on our website. So, and if you're in Dallas, you can come visit me in my office in Richardson. So we are all here. So, so there is multiple ways you can contact me, but the preferred one would be just send us an email. That will automatically create a ticket, and then one of our agents will take care of that. Whatever your need is, whether you're looking to, subscribe or, and we have some special promotions with Chris's group as well. So as just being a member of Chris's group, you can also get a preferred pricing. So you just have to mention that if you call us to say that, you are with Chris Bound's group, and then we'll take care of that, or RE Hacking group, and then we'll take care of that as well.
All right, we appreciate it. So nice connecting with you again. Thanks for the live demo. Pretty excited about what this can do for some of the members and going forward, and working with you more. For more information on the free trial and advanced discounted rehacking pricing, check the show notes, click on the link, and thanks for watching.